Hey guys, welcome to the video. I just want to talk about the title of this video, why bots don't ruin PUBG. Now I've explained most of this in a little bit of detail in the video description, but nobody ever reads that, right? So I thought I'd go through it in a bit more detail. Let's start with the controversy before release of bots. So the latest patch brought bots to the main game of PUBG, and even before it was released, the controversy just exploded. The comments on forums and on streamers' channels were very much, okay, this is it, I'm not going to play PUBG anymore, I quit. Especially as they made the mistake of not releasing a ranked solo mode. So solo players were, that's it, I'm not going to play anymore. What actually happened was very different. It's really clear on the player count that when the patch was released, there was at least 10% uptick in the player count. I'm sure that's gone back down now to pre-patch levels, but it was really clear more people were trying the game because there were bots in. But it's much more noticeable even than the free weekend that they had. That did nothing at all to the player count. In fact, I didn't even know about it. A lot of people didn't. It was advertised so badly. So there's that. It really didn't change the player count in a negative way, at least not immediately. And as I say, the player count has come back down to the level it was before the patch. So how do bots change the game, and why are people so mad about it? There are a couple of ways. They make you let your guard down. You tend to play differently. You don't see anybody as a threat. You do really stupid stuff. You see someone running across a field towards you, you know that's a bot. But what do you do in return? You might stop in the middle of nowhere and take a few shots at them. And then a real player is going to shoot you. So you have to have some discipline. You have to try not to let it change your game. It is difficult, and there's definitely some of that in the gameplay video attached to this, but that's what I feel. It makes the mid-game slower, which is, I don't know, it's a problem for some. The mid-game on Sanhok has always been slow anyway, so it's not really any different there. But yeah, there you go. It's just the fact that bots are so predictable. You know you can easily kill them, they're not a threat at all. So people can either pretend to be a bot and bait you, or you let your guard down and you do something stupid. You just don't play the same as you used to. But if you try and keep your playstyle consistent, then the bots aren't going to be a serious problem to you, and neither are the human players. And this isn't a problem for my playstyle at all, because I'm not a good player. You know, I'm pretty old in terms of first-person shooter players, mid-40s, let's just call it. Yeah, I'm lying, late 40s. Okay, so, you know, the segregation of the player base that's occurred because of the release of bots and the release of ranked mode means that I get paired with players who are probably closer to my level. Maybe I get more beginners or more older people who just aren't into ranked and everything that comes with that. So for me, the bots, they don't ruin my game at all, because for me, PUBG is all about the end game. So if you hot drop, then sure, you know, the bots are really going to change that experience. I don't hot drop. I tend to drop near the edges of a map, and then work my way in towards the centre for the end game. So yeah, the mid game, I'll meet a few bots here and there, but the end game, there aren't going to be any bots left. So the end game, which is what PUBG is all about, and that's where the adrenaline kicks in and where, well, just where the game comes alive, that's always going to be against humans. So for me, the bots are like target practice and warm-up during the mid-game and the early phases, and then they give me a better chance of getting to the end game, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, it really has changed my stats. I mean, if we look, let me just have a quick look here on OPGG. before the bots were released, my win rate was 2.5% and my KDA was 1.3. So, you know, pretty poor. I'm not a fantastic player at all. I play a lot, so I've had a lot of practice, but yeah, I haven't got the reactions or the accuracy of younger players. But since the patch, I had 3 days of streaming this week where I got 3.73 KDA and 14% win rate. Now that is fantastic. You know, all those end games were against humans. So yeah, sure, if the game was full of humans, I probably wouldn't have got to the end game as often. But it really has changed things for me. Do the wins feel diluted? Yeah, maybe. But those end game situations, I'm getting to them more often. I'm winning them more often. I'm not doing that by camping. And as I say, you'll see that in the unedited full gameplay video attached to this, which is typically how I do my videos. I don't edit them at all. So you can see how slow or not the mid-game is. You can see how I play and what the real experience is with bots. Now the other side of this is for content creators and full-time streamers. Now I fully understand that this makes a real big difference to them, especially those who are solo players. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. There are quite a lot of really well-known streamers who do solo FPP, PUBG only, pretty much. And yeah, it's changed the game for them because they need to keep... It needs to be interesting. The whole game needs to be interesting. So, you know, Wacky Jacky had a game on Miramar after the bots were released, and he was absolutely appalled by it. He was just driving around, running bots over right up until the top 10, and it was just boring and soul destroying for him. But I still think it was fun to watch, but obviously it's made a big difference to them. But there is a way out for them. Most content creators for PUBG prefer to play Erangel. They consider it the best map because it's got some of everything, and each game tells a story. So much different scenery, so much to do. But in Europe, at least on FPP, if you look at the population of bots on the servers, during the time that most content creators and full-time streamers play in Europe, which is noon to midnight, so 12 PM to 12 AM, you're only going to get 20% bots in Erangel. So I don't think that's a big change at all. After midnight, there's a massive change. It goes completely the other way. Within the space of an hour, you're up to 80% bots and 20% players. And sure, that's not going to be a good experience for them. But as I say, most of them aren't even streaming at that time. Anyway, that's all I had to say. There's a lot of controversy about bots. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do let me know what you think.